Good morning. We are on our daily morning walk, and it is a bit of a longer one because it's supposed to rain this afternoon. I haven't felt great for these past days. I had some flaring symptoms and I also just was in a terrible mood. And I do blame the weather for that a bit because I really don't do well in these warm temperatures, and if there is like high humidity, I feel like I'm a bit in a kind of summer depression. I'm just an autumn and winter type of person. I just found some 4-leaf clovers and a 5-leaf clovers, and that is kind of a hobby of mine. Each and every time I see a patch of clover growing, I feel the need to scan over it if I see something, and I do find them pretty much daily in the summer, and I do think that has much less to do with luck than with practice and having good pattern recognition. So I have been doing this for my entire life and I always find them. It's also a pretty common mutation to happen in clover plants, and if you find one, there is a much higher chance that there are more because of the mutation. So that's a kind of fun way to make your walks a bit more exciting. And I do pick them and bring them home because I have a tiny vase at home where I keep them, and they keep for a pretty long time, and then I always have like this little bouquet of 4-leaf clovers, or sometimes 5 or 6. I think the most I have ever found was 8. I did find an 8-leaf clover as a child. Oh, yeah. It's a few days later because I wasn't feeling well. I had to spend a whole day in bed, and then yesterday I was still like mostly on the couch and still very much fatigued, but today I feel a bit better. But I'm still in a very frustrated mood. Like the summer depression is still going on. The really frustrating part about it is that I do have plans. I am feeling very inspired and I want to do so many things, but my body isn't cooperating. That's the really hard part for me because I see my projects, I want to work on them, but I just don't have the energy to do so. I'm still trying to do the best I can and I'm still working on some projects. It's just going very slow and I am an impatient person. But what I did manage to do these past days was a bit of knitting. So I finished my black dress. It is very simple, it's just straight down. I didn't do any kind of shaping or decreases, increases. It's just very straight down. It is slim fitting, but not like skin tight. I can maybe put some footage of me wearing it somewhere. I also decided to leave the neck as it is. I was thinking about doing some kind of little ribbing collar situation, but I think it looks good like this. And the only other thing I did was do the little trick to stop the hem from rolling up. I have shown it in one of my last videos. You put the stitch from 2 rows below on your needle and knit it together with the stitch that is on your needle already, and that stops it from rolling. It doesn't stop it completely, to be honest, so that's like there's still a bit of rolling up going on, but I also haven't blocked it yet. And this is a linen cotton blend, so I do expect it to stretch a bit out with blocking because linen tends to do that. The yarn is by Drops, but I don't remember the name of it, but it's a blend of almost 50-50 linen and cotton. I'm really excited to wear this one day when I am able to leave the house again and do have an occasion, which is also kind of frustrating. I like my clothes, I like my wardrobe, like all of my wardrobe is handmade or second hand, and I do have very special pieces in there, but my day-to-day uniform doesn't really reflect that, and sometimes I'm a bit sad about that. It doesn't really feel like myself. And I have thought about like doing a kind of challenge or series where I try to wear my handmade pieces and my special pieces every day and like document the outfits that I create. Maybe I'll do that. Then I also made a bit of progress on this t-shirt that I'm knitting. This is Sannes Garantin Line, and I'm knitting it with 2.5mm needles, so the progress is very slow. I feel like I've knit on this a fair amount of time these past days, but you can't really see it. But I added quite a bit of length to that. This probably won't be finished soon, but that's fine. I really like to have different projects going on. So then I thought I need another project with bigger needles and preferably with a softer type of yarn, because this is linen and cotton. The tin line is viscose linen and cotton. So all of these types of fibers aren't really stretchy, which makes them a bit harder to work with. So I really wanted to have like a kind of woolly project, but also we are going into summer, so knitting like fluffy woolly garments isn't really the thing now, but well, I did start a scarf that I probably won't wear for months. If you're watching my videos for a bit, you will notice this yarn because it is left over from a cardigan that I knit. So this cardigan was like a kind of really long project, and it was like a coat length, really long cardigan. Then I changed it up into something else and I unraveled it, and it was a bit of a messy project, but after all of this, I had quite a bit of yarn left over, so I thought I would make another bigger and warm scarf. A few years ago I made like pretty much the exact type of scarf out of, I think, an alpaca yarn, and I held it together with a plasticky mohair substitute. I probably wouldn't do that today, but I love that scarf. But I'm a bit bothered by the plastic material in it. I am looking forward to having a new one. So this is knit in brioche stitch, and I'm knitting with 6mm needles. And since this is left over from the cardigan, the color changes and the pattern is just in the yarn, I felted the individual pieces of yarn together to create this kind of gradient effect. So I don't have to think about the colors, they just happen as I go. This is an excellent contrast to the 2.5mm needle project that I'm working on, and yeah, these past days were really rainy and cold, but that was kind of good for my plants that I planted in the garden, like the vegetables, and I sowed some seeds. I haven't checked on the garden yet because it's still very wet, but I will do that as soon as it's not raining. There's not a lot happening right now because of the health situation. I'm still trying to take it slow and not overdo it. But yeah, let's see what the health situation will bring.